We've been journeying in the wrong direction this whole time. We've been journeying outside of ourselves. Why?
Brought the wise, talk to him.
Spent a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Maybe this is the year right here. Energy. Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better collectively, you know? Right? Energy. Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better collectively, you know? Energy. The first stage is realizing that you are. That's the first step. Confront yourself. Realizing that you are. Energy. Spent a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They can't put negative notions on us. Think about it. Great things is happening, whether they want to believe it or not. Maybe this is the year right here. This is the year for it right here. Right? Energy. Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better collectively, you know? Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better collectively, you know? One's image of oneself should be greater than reality. Don't let nobody tell you that you ain't great. You are. Energy. We've been journeying in the wrong direction this whole time. We've been journeying outside of ourselves. Why? Spent a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Maybe this is the year right here. Energy. Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better, you know? Right? Energy. Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better, you know? Energy. The first stage is realizing that you are. That's the first step. Confront yourself. Realize that you are. Energy. Spent a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They can't put negative notions on us. Think about it. Great things is happening, whether they want to believe it or not. Maybe this is the year right here.
Man, that's just beautiful right there. I like that. I'm gonna get one that can faintly play in the background. See, this one can faintly play in the background too. See, we can faintly have that playing in the background.
We gotta do better,
you know.
One's image of oneself should be greater than reality. Don't let nobody tell you that you great, because you are. Energy.
Man, great things is happening. Let me stop that music real quick. Let me just pause that real quick. Great things are happening. Okay. When I say great things is happening, I mean like great things is happening. You don't know the possibilities. You don't know these things, right? But I do want to touch base on something that is going to be revealed to us, right? The Kabbalah, the Brotherhood of the Snake, the Tree of Life, right? So don't be fooled by this. This is some trees are false. Some of these trees in here are false. They're represented by 10 fears. If you see a tree with 10 fears, it's a false tree. It is a false direction. Most of these trees of life, Kabbalah, whatever you want to call them, they have 12. These are the 12 disciples that was put together in a sense. They rewrite this in history over and over and over again. And even the negative use this same type of rhetoric with the Baphomet, right? With the Baal, the Brotherhood of the Snakes, so on and so forth. I don't know if you guys ever looked into the Brotherhood of the Snakes, you know, but this is the depths of things right here. How things really are. Like they really, when you get into like the real mystery of like St. Patrick's Day and everything like that, and you know, everything that St. Patrick's Day consists of, it's deep.
Salop Atlantis, Aryan, Sons of Belial, Brotherhood of Snake, Cunairo, EOF, Aryans, Lore Cannibalis. Ancient Global Mariners _ Sakay set 0.00, Ancient Flamon Skoma Ta, Ancient CLLTS Smispus and Ascorum Wallacorsiup Small West later of Desert,
from
Storm.
Atlantis.
The New Kingdom Dynasty Erisar on Chasmsanthe Ananare, Israel United Monarchy. Toipian 215T Dynasty Sphinx Steel, Tablets of the Law Romulus Remus Cleopatra Caesar. Roman Emperor FZRS Ora Sidiaraxum, Umisruary, Masons, Inatration of USA, War of U.S. Civil War, Infiltration of USA, First Zionist Congress Ost Unfted Nations, Masonry inking Titanic Chmaroan Sophia Mary, Jesus. Sibylle Inanna /Ishtar /Isis /Aphrodite /Venus _ the Great Pyramid of Reincarnated Re Souls Baal /Moloch Set /Zeus /Jupiter Janus Lucifer _ the Great Pyramid of Reincarnated Souls Storm Satan /Sky Love /Sex /Sin /Khonsu Eve Horus Dionysus Bacchus Jesus Storm /War Thunder Adam /Sky Moon /Sin Nana /Khonsu /Eve Horus /Dionysus /Bacchus Jesus Sun Adam /Apollo.
Now,
Hashtag Fallop Atlantis, hashtag Sons, hashtag.
All the names that you heard are names of reincarnated souls. Souls that were destined to reincarnate. Souls that have kept reincarnating through different forms. Zeus, right? Poseidon, Hades, all of these different stories are stories that was for those times, during the Greek time, during the Roman times, during this time, during that time, during the time of Catholics. You know, this is the as above, so below concept, right? This is what is, always was, and always will be concept, right? Now, if you ever was to study this, this takes you into Zachariah Stitchins. This takes you into the Baphomet. This takes you into, different levels of knowledge. This takes you down those paths of different levels of knowledge, understanding. Would you like to go a little bit deeper? One's in the chat if you guys would like to go a little bit deeper. Let's look up. You know what's crazy? What if there is a group of people that knew that we were going to come into a certain variation of knowledge, and they aim to, push out this. You have, man, I didn't know this dude's. That's crazy. He really tried that. He really tried to like spam the network with his falsitries. I know that didn't work out too well for him. Okay, so when you get into this, you get into Afu-Ra, African, or which is called the Ra of God, which goes back to like the Godhead and everything like that. It goes back to what we are, you know what I mean, as beings, as multidimensional beings down here, right? Speaking about the sun following us, right? The history of all of this. This stuff is etched throughout the history of this world. This is nothing that I made up. This is not something that I made up. The Ankh, carrying of the Ankh, thy staff, all of this stuff is a representation of life. This is not something that's made up. This is not new age religion. This has been here before your Catholic Church, before your Christians, before any of this. These things was etched on the walls. These things was etched on the walls. You cannot take that back. You cannot change that. And that's why we have so much chaos in the world right now, is because this is what people are trying to fight. This is what people are trying to take out. The knowledge and the wisdom that comes with us as a collective, the people that comes with this, right? This is not just a zodiac sign. There's different people that came in with these zodiac signs, these energies. There's different knowledge that came in with this, right? Osiris, they used to have names for this back in the day. If you look up Egyptian, Egyptian mythology, right here, it'll show you which gods or goddesses protect you, right? This is the same thing as our zodiac signs. This is the same thing as the signs that we have in the sky, the same thing that we go by when we be like, oh, I'm Aries, I'm Taurus, I'm this, I'm that. Well, in Greek mythology, that puts you in certain god houses. That puts you in god houses. You was the house of Horus if you were April 20th, right? You see it say April 20th to May 7th. That's Horus. Now we get into the eye of Horus, right? We get into this stuff. This is where some of that history comes from. It's old magic. It's old knowledge. You hear them repeat this stuff all the time. This is not new. It's just repeated. They just put a different name on it. Now we call it the zodiac signs. Back then, this is what they called it. They called it Osiris, Anubis, Seth, Thoth, Amun-Ra, Anubis, Bas, and this is what it was back then. This is Egyptian mythology, astrology. So when you're talking about Greek mythology, Roman mythology, it's a reason why all our planets is named after Roman gods. There's a reason why, the story of, Poseidon and Zeus and Hades and all of these things. There's a reason why these things are repeated over and over again. All of these things is repeated stories of the same thing. A story of mankind, a story of our gods, a story of the sky, right? You have Zeus, you have you have Zeus, you have all of these things, all of these things were different notions, sky, times of conceptions. so on and so forth. When was the winter time? When was the springtime? Who was born in this time, that time? These was earth days. These was water days. These was water months, earth months. The Chinese still looks at it and, this is the year of that and the year of the dragon and the year of this. And, these are different energies that they say awaken and different things of that notion. And a lot of this stuff is just repeated history. It's repeated history. When you get into it, the same signs are in Africa. The same signs that's in our zodiac, they're in Africa, right? They're also in Africa. These are the African gods right here. These are what the African gods would be depicted of right here, right? If we was to look into it, we will see that all of them had their notions of what was, always was, and will be. See, you see how Pisces right here represents fish. It's the 12, right? What's it going into? Aries, right? Which is the 1, right? Then Taurus, which is the bull, that's the 2, right? And then you have, what is that? I want to say that's Cancer right there, and then Gemini, or I could be wrong. It could be Gemini, which is the arms and the legs, and then Cancer, which is the breast. Leo is the lion. We know that. So these are the same zodiac signs that are in, ours. Is the same thing. Everybody's arguing over the same thing. I want y'all to think about that. All these different arguments, and it's all over the same thing. It is all linked to each other. It is all linked to each other, right? And see, this is why I say they really don't get into the knowledge of things, right? They really don't get into the knowledge of things, because if we was to dig into the depths of it, we will see that there's actually 88 constellations in our sky. 88 constellations in our sky, right? And this is a better picture because this is color coded, right? So this is a better picture because it's color coded. Hope you understand it better, right? You see the water, earth, air, fire, right? There's fire, water, right? There's fire, water, right? There's different levels to this, right? Some represent masculine energy, some represent feminine energy, right? Everything that's coming in is the same thing that they talk about in the Bible and some of these other texts, religious texts. They tell you about the 4 corners, right? These are the 4 corners right here: the fire, the air, the water, the earth, right? And we make up the center of this, which is the 5th element, which is considered ether, fire, water, Christ consciousness, right? The 4 beasts of this plane, right? They tell you about this in the biblical text. See, the problem with these people is they don't want to be honest with themselves and admit that this type of energy and this type of knowledge exists. That's why they're blind to it. That's why they're blocked off from it, right? Because they don't want to admit that this knowledge exists. They've been closed off to it. They've been ignoring it, right? But here we are. We're not only acknowledging that this admit, but we're trying to put it out there. We want to see what more can mankind do. We want people to fill their kingdom of heavens up with knowledge, right? The biblical text says, seek all knowledge for the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you. So if knowledge is outside of you and the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, you are the only one that can put that knowledge that's outside of you into your kingdom of heaven. So you have to journey into wanting to learn. You have to be in a forever learning type of mindset. You have to stop thinking that there's a learning cap. 12th grade is not it. Graduating college is not it. Getting a degree is not it. You always supposed to be forever learning. A man should not live off of bread alone. A man cannot live off of bread alone. You have to put the knowledge back. You have to give your brain that knowledge again. Your brain is yearning for it. is thirsting for these different variations of knowledge. Some of y'all driving yourself insane trying to block off these different variations of knowledge that's coming in. Don't say you're not. Don't say you're not. We watching it. We watching it happen. You know, from the mountains high above, we are watching this happen. You guys are not fully in control or in the understanding of this verse, this world that we're in. You're not understanding exactly what it is that we are a part of, what's taking place right now under the Aquarius sky, right? Something great is taking place under the Aquarius sky. Of course, you guys would look at it and try to, put some negative notion to it because that's the verse that we're in, right? We have to put this, together down here the best way we know how. And a lot of people don't know how to actually put this stuff together. This stuff has been written on walls, written on hieroglyphics. It's been telling us about this day, that this was going to come. It's been telling us, trying to teach us how to equally yoke the body, how to become equally yoked with oneself, right? We the ones that keep on fighting all of this knowledge and stuff. Of course, there's other people down here that's going to falsify it and wants to tell you this and tell you that. Of course, that comes with anything. That comes with everything down here. Everything down here comes with that level of stuff. Where people's going to try to manipulate and alter this and alter that. That just comes with the territory, don't it? That just comes with the territory. So when you get into this, you get into different names that was back then that met the sun, right? When people took on the attributes, Ra took on the attributes of the sun. So when Ra took on the attributes of the sun, we was looking at Ra as the sun god. But there was gods that came before Ra, right? This was Aten. Aten was considered to be the sun god, the god of sun. This is Aten. You can look it up. Aten. Aten touched everything. Aten, this is why they say attention, right? This is where some of these word plays come from. This is where a lot of these things come from. Focus, right? Attention means focus. Attention means over here, right? Now, when you got all of these different word plays, this is what it translated to after it translated throughout the years. Come on now, we're going to learn something today. They want to keep on trying to make it seem like we don't bring nothing to the table. Like we just over here shucking and jiving, huh? Good times hanging in the child line. Nah, we over here learning. We want to expand our mind. We want to take this thing to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Turn it up a notch or two. Just like I'm turning up on staying on y'all neck. I'm turning up with the knowledge too. So now I'm going to start pouring out more knowledge for the people. Each time we go live, you don't know what we going to bring to the table. That's where we want to keep y'all at. Oh, we didn't mean to go there. We want to keep y'all there. We want to keep y'all in the mindset of not knowing. You ain't going to know what we going to do. I don't want to save that because we already have that image. We don't need to save that. So yeah, so this was a different time back then. This stuff that was written on the walls, this was a different time. The gods of the Middle East, right? Prophesying, right? When you had this right here, this was the Sumerian gods, ancient Sumeria, breathing life into mankind, right? The story of Zachariah Stitchin said one of the head scientists named Nun. Hence the word why women in the Catholic Church are called nuns, right? This goes back to Sumeria and Zachariah Stitchins, right? The head scientist was called Nun. She decided to, through her, she birthed what we know as mankind, but back then it was probably Homo erectus or Homo sapien or Homo sapioid or something of that nature before it became Neanderthals and the primitive beasts, and then what we know today as modern citizens. But man couldn't birth this. We kept on trying through different species and stuff down here, bulls, this, that, and third. We wasn't coming out with this mankind in a sense, right? It wasn't until Nun came and decided to use her body as a vessel to bring forth mankind, right? And man, even though we knew the secret of the sperm back then to strengthen it up, this secret of the sperm will basically impregnate anything, right? If you knew the secret of the sperm, how to strengthen this up, so on and so forth, when you passed it, it'll pretty much impregnate anything. This is where you get, all of these half beasts from. That's why the Old Testament says, if a man lays with the animal, the offsprings of that animal should be, unalived, because it was telling you that in the Old Testament, this is when we go back to a time of, this is why we're going back to an old age, because the secret of the semen, all these secrets are going to be given back to us. And when these secrets are given back to us, we have to, honor these secrets. When the sun start changing our body to strengthen the seed of mankind, we have to honor these secrets. We have to, respectfully honor these secrets, right? There's going to be a lot of people that's going to start doing some abominable things in this world. They're not going to be in control of their hormonal energy. They're not going to be in control of their hormones. They're going to be out of control with this stuff, right? And that's why you hear, the Jaguar rights saying stuff like, oh, I'm teaching people about their creative energy. This is the same story that Jesus, this is the same story that, Michael Jackson spoke about. If you go back and you listen to Michael Jackson, go back and listen to the Michael Jackson trial. What is the most common thing that they spoke about that was like, what is they talking about? It was this Jesus juice. Michael Jackson was sitting there telling these kids about Jesus juice, right? There's a reason why Michael Jackson called Chris Tucker Christmas, right? He called Chris Tucker Christmas, right? These are all different things. When you got the world back then, the world was upside down. The world was twisted. These people didn't know what they was teaching the next generations, right? If we coming out of slavery, coming out of time where people did stuff where they call broke back stuff, right? Where they had to break you in front of your women, had to do stuff to you, make man have sex with man in order to degrade them, right? The best way that they could say, a black man looks good is when he got a pocketbook on his hip, right? So all of this stuff it's always been accumulating. Go back to 1995 Biggie videos, right? I bet you didn't see all of the implications of the transgender community that they were putting out there. The girl, the light-skinned chick, she had the Adam's apple. She was standing in the bathroom at the urinal, right? This is in a 1995 Biggie Smalls video. Busta Rhymes is at the bar talking to this girl, right? Busta Rhymes is at the bar talking to this girl when Biggie walk up and say, I just creep up on behind and ask her who she interested in, who she be with, things that make her smile, what number to dial. We gonna be here for a while. You gonna call your crew. We can rendezvous at the mall around 2, right? That was a whole dude that he was sitting there kicking it with in 1995. This is why Puffy was actually involved in all of that shit. Remember, Tupac came out as an actor. Tupac wasn't no gangster in no street. Tupac went to the Baltimore Performance School of Art, right? He had an infatuation with what is that piano dude name? Whatever guitar, whatever dude name is, right? When he got locked up, wrote letters to Madonna about how he couldn't be with her because of what his family represent, of what his mom, being a part of the Black Panthers, so on and so forth. Right? Why are we acting like this stuff never took place in our history? Like the image has not always been shaped for us, right? Denzel had to be crooked before he took it. All the shows that he played in, all the movies that he played in, but didn't get an award until what? Training Day, right? Why y'all acting like this world wasn't always shaped out for us? Why y'all acting like they didn't paint us always out to be a bad person? Like the only time a black person looks good is when they're doing bad shit. That's the ideal image that they paint you out to be. If a black person walking around doing good stuff, that looks weird to people, right? They always want the black person to look bad. That's why I stopped trying to be that of what? Because it's always going to keep you jumping through a loop. If you see me for a good person, you see me for a good person, right? I realize I'm 6'5", 215 pounds, right? Every time I go somewhere, somebody's grabbing their purse. Every time I go somewhere, somebody's locking their door. And I'm a loving guy. Like literally, look after kids, take care. But because they see a 6'5" black guy, they can't get out of that image. So therefore, they always paint me out to be that image, right? I always got to show massive acts of kindness before they be like, oh, he just, and then they talk shit about you after that. Then you just big for nothing. As soon as you 6'5" and you just showing love, compassion, knowledge, wisdom, then you just big for nothing. The moment you start stepping on shit, you a monster. You damned if you do, damned if you don't. You say you don't like to walk behind women? I usually put them like around the sides of me. Set in the West, what's going on with you? I put them like on the side of me. Like if I'm walking, I lie to you not. If I'm walking with a woman, like or a kid, I gotta be on the side of the traffic. I gotta be on the side the cars coming on. They gotta be on. Like it's natural. It's natural that I move these people. You know what I mean? In different like. Set in the West said AT2 don't like women. Man, you coming over here with the bullshit. You know, it's based off of titles now. So anybody can be perceived as a woman now, you know. Set in the West said you could be a woman, you could be somebody's trophy. You trying to be somebody's trophy? You could be somebody's trophy if you want to be. We could be whatever we want to be. Shit, they got kids in school right now being furries. They about to think about putting furry bathrooms in the kids' school. Can you imagine your kid pissing in the litter box or something, thinking they're furry? Shit, you don't know. We in the upside down world. You better get used to it. They got a whole trans canine community out there. Shit, you see somebody with a dog, they might really be in a full-fledged relationship with that dog. You better watch out. You better realize what world we living in now. It's the upside down world for real, for real. For real. And in this new world, if I tell you a duck can pull a truck, then hook it the fuck up. Because I promise you, things are stranger than fiction right now. But things are so strange right now. If I tell you a duck can pull a truck, you better hook it up. Get you some crystals. Find you somewhere to hide. It might get ugly outside. Not everybody gonna be in control of their self, if that makes sense. Not everybody gonna be able to control their self. Hey, apology accepted, man. If that's the real Set in the West right there, because you know they say they got all these bots coming out, man. Apology accepted. Let me apologize to you as well. Let me say I apologize. You know, I realize that you too are just a man out here trying to make it, trying to survive, you know, in this world where it's already hard and heavy on you being a black person. You know what I'm saying? Um, Maybe I shouldn't be making it harder for you. You know, looking into your past, bringing up anything of that nature, you know, that's something that we have already, you know, been tore down with, you know, our background, our histories, you know, so on and so forth. And I think it's about time we push past a lot of things. You know, I think it's about time we push past a lot of things And, Olive Branch, I want to say I apologize for whatever, notion I might have brought upon you in your life and your endeavors. We really be out here trying to survive the best way possible. And sometimes, um, our survival can come with tearing each other down. And it shouldn't be like that. But, sometimes we have a mindset of better them than me. And it's probably tearing us up more than what we actually want to give it credit for. So on that note, I apologize as well.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. Same here, man. I know some time back you reached back and I was like, you already know, bro. It's when it's up, it's up. So don't come at me with the fake, like you got, let me not shout out two titties in the chat, but he fake. I'm being straight up. That dude is fake as a $3 bill, right? So I take everybody on this internet on some just fake faulty, because I don't know you in real life, but when you got at me a couple of weeks back, I was just like, bro, man, step off, bro. But no, like I said, I'll even apologize for coming at you like that. You feel me?
Yeah, but under those circumstances, you had every right to. At that time, like you said, when it's up, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna continue keeping your guard up. And that's why I say, you notice I said shit, keep on doing it, because I can't tell you how to determine how you operate. You know what I mean? I can respect another man's operation, but I can't tell them how to operate.
Indeed. And yeah, like you said, man, we are men and we are just trying to get, most of us, if you know your purpose, damn a woman, your purpose comes first. If you believe in God, God comes first. And for the most part, I come from a bunch of people where we build each other up. So I'm never for the, especially building up, building down or tearing down anybody that, of the same hue. But again, what I learned is, all skin folk ain't kin folk. You know that. So
it's getting uglier out here by the day, though.
And see, that's what it is. See what it is, bro. Right now, that's the devil's main recipe, is to divide, right? So imagine if you say you came into this sector from through Storm Monroe, right?
No, kind of through like Essie Berry, because when I was on TikTok, I kind of like reached out. Essie Berry was the first one to contact me back as far as the questions that I had regarding the Storm Monroe regarding the Storm Monroe video. So she was the first one, but Storm Monroe did email me, but did not mess that all up, because did not sent the email to Storm Monroe talking about if you do an interview with him, you better let him shout out my page, and you better let all this weird ass shit. So I don't know. I didn't know that at that time. I found that out after everything, but it is what it is. Like, people feel as though they hold certain variations of control when it comes to growth over here, which is very, we never going to fix the world with the same mindset of the colonizers. That's all I'm going to say to that note. But hey, to each his own.
No. Yeah, you're right.
If he feels like he's a gatekeeper and he got, then shit, let him be the fiddler. Let him be the fiddler.
He ain't no gatekeeper. You just replaced the T and the E with a Y. That's the kind of keeper he is. See, the thing is this dude, and I'm not going to even speak on him like that. We'll talk, but you and I just got to really chop it up behind the scenes, because I heard what happened to your other channel was growing, and then it got taken away. I got some people we could talk to, man. Let's just talk, because to be honest, you do got some like great information, and people like you, and I got another homie, Ania Soru. I ain't gonna even say Ani and I started off on a bad note. It's just that it was a little bit of a misunderstanding, but we got some things corrected. But his information that he has is just as pertinent, talking about, gematria. And I know you speak on a few things with gematria and stuff like that. But you see what I'm saying? Like, if you are a master in what it is that you do, and people rock with it, hey, you know what? We should all be putting each other on like, oh, go check out Ralph because he talks about X, Y, and Z. I see you got right here the you see, I come from the so-called quote unquote conscious community, so I'm very familiar with this. God dang it, what you have on the screen right here.
The chakra system, the chakra frequency.
Yeah, and then it's this, and then you're dealing with the Hebrew side. But long story short, I understand where you're coming from, man. And like I said, man, let's we'll chop it up behind the scenes. In all honesty, bro, like that's pretty much what we're about. Let's lift each other up. Let's not be on this. I'll say it like this: it's chaotic energy building. I mean, tearing people down on the internet. You don't even know these people. It's very just chaotic, nasty. When I'll say it like this: the difference between like a mother and a father. Your mother will make you feel better. The father should make you better in general. You see what I'm saying? So people online falling into the whole soap opera antics and the distractions, when in all honesty, like I got good information that I want to disseminate you too. It's like, so there's no read. That's why I didn't stop talking about you after a while. I ain't even gonna feed into this because it's just dumb. But I think we're in we done passed the destroy. Now it's the build phase. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't on that, I'm talking to two titties in the chat. If you ain't on no building up, step aside, get up out of here.
I don't know if he can build what you calling them two titties.
Well, it's up with him too. The thing is I done already got at him about a few things. See, the thing is
okay. I get what you're saying. Until you figure out where y'all stand at is
yeah. See, the thing is don't be mentioning my name. I told him, like, I'm not finna mention your name. I'll take shots at you and stuff, but bro, you don't know me, number one, and I know you. I know you'll get down behind the scenes. You make it seem like you're benign, but you're about as cancerous as rectal cancer, anal cancer, bro. You're deadly. So, but you front like you are benign, like you ain't. You sit over here and talk all this about Jaguars, mental health, and this and that. You ain't supposed to be talking about that online. You're not a professional, nor do you have a diagnosis of her. So again, that type of energy, that ain't gonna work right now. What
now,
we need to be talking about.
Could I say this without
Go ahead.
any,
Go ahead.
You have to look at like what took place. I don't know the history of AT2 and Jaguar, but there was some shots, taken on both sides as far as things with his uncle, so on and so forth. So he probably was just searching for something that was going to hurt somebody back. Some things were said that was, detrimental to his personal life, detrimental to him, that he probably didn't want out there, and we all did that. We all put things out about each other that we didn't want out there. And we got to get over the feelings that comes with that, right? And let bygone. I said some stuff about you. You said some stuff about me. We was fucked up under those situations, right? But how do we get past it? What's the solution for it? And I know, like you just said, until you figure out, what it is, it's up. And I can't take that from you, right? But at some point, you got to be able to pull up a seat to the table, right?
Yep. There should always be, regardless to what, there should be some sort of understanding. That's the nation of 5%. Those brothers, they talk about knowledge, wisdom, and what's the last thing? Understanding. So there should at least be some type of understanding. With that guy, I don't understand. Same thing with the Donna T guy. I don't understand. I ain't even trying to figure it out. But I know if you trying to do some stuff like in real, bro, man, I ain't gonna say too much, but bro,
hey, you said growth and development, right? That's a common ground. Let's start there.
There it is.
Let's start there. Growth and development. You said that you're about growth and development. I'm about growth and development. Let's marinate on that common ground and see where it go from there. Anything that might need to be hashed out along the way, we'll have to figure that out along the way. But You know what I mean? Like, let's just leave it with the growth and development, and anybody else that might be with growth and development. You know what I mean? Now you're going to run across a lot. We in this line of work, you're going to run across a lot of people that are in it for different reasons, because now people see this as a survival mechanism. After watching what Zeus Network did, after watching, Christian Rock get famous off of toxicity, everybody's looking at controversy to sell. So everybody's looking for the next, fallout argument that oh look, oh snap, did you hear what happened to such a, so it became us.
Yep. Yep.
And I don't know how to start changing it. I don't know how. It's going to take more than just one group. It's going to take more than just, a group of 5, like to change something of that monumental level. It's going to take a hell of a collective. People got to learn how to get out of their ego and get out of their pride and realize that we're all in it together. We fucked it up together. Why can't we fix it together?
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Well, that's the beginning. How do we heal? I told Jag when I met her, I'm on a healing journey, and I'm still on it. I think a lot of us are on it, but I think a lot of people choose to stay where they're at, not even thinking about growth. Jag was talking about a bunch of old people today, and the people today that they're supposed to be elders, they're not elders, they're just olders. You know what I mean? Like they not here departing wisdom. They just old, and they oh yeah, oh you got 5 baby daddies, you should have 5 baby daddies like I did. Like
right.
like
But they're not
yeah,
elders. They're just olders, like you said. They're not
they
doing
just old.
elder stuff. They're not doing the things that elders do, which is prepare you for your time, prepare you for what you have to go through with the things that are coming up in your life. They're still talking about their life and what they went through, and how since they went through it hard, you have to. That's not the way of this world right now.
Or they're basically just on some like, oh well, because you do got generations who, and I'll keep it a buck, the boomers for the most part, but you can't be mad at them. We had it a little bit better. I'm Generation X. We had a little bit better, and they get mad. It's like a dude who crack smoked his life away, and he mad at the youngster, low key, jealous of the youngster because that dude got his whole life ahead of him. So he'll give him some faulty information just so that he could fall, and he could be right there with him. It's what do you call that, man? Like trauma bonding, or just they want you down, they want to see you down. If a person ain't got nothing to lose, you got to watch out for them. So that, I think that's kind of where you assess people now, man. You just peep where they at, and it ain't all about money. Like some people just want the attention, they want the fame, and wanting that could, there's a lot of dangers that can come with that. You get what I'm saying?
Right. I mean,
Eh,
I hear different variations of conversations. I don't know if you read like the ISIS pages, or Willie Lynch, or different things of that. And maybe, once you realize that it's actually a trained mentality and we are creatures of habit, then it's the habits that need to be broken, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, they talking about me vibrating high and all that. Yeah, I'll vibrate high on, but if you want to go low, I'm gonna take it to the flow. Somebody leaving a comment, somebody said something about me saying my government name. Oh, that's a violation. Let me come holler at you. See that type of stuff. See, the thing is I pulled back from a lot of this internet stuff because there are real life consequences to people sitting over here playing with other people's name and likeness and mental health. Like look at Jag, for example. And I get it, because it's like she's out there saying things, and sometimes she say things and people take it out of context, and maybe they're saying, oh well, she's saying it for this or that or whatever. So you got all these people, the quote unquote troll farm, who do nothing but what? Go after her, attack her, talk about everything in her life. Guess what? She is now insulated. I'll just say it like that. I mean, all the stuff that's said about her is out there, whatever, but I don't think there's going to be no more new whatever y'all going to try to pull and say on her, because the thing is in all honesty, this is a classic case of a worldwide cyber harassment or dogpiling or gang stalking, whatever you want to call it, and all of it is documented. And bro, I'm a documentarian, and I got people behind the scenes that I know. You know, people talk, oh, you got to no, man. It's about to be up for all this whole whatever's going on, because the thing is that ain't right. Her intentions, Jaguar Wright's intentions, are right with exposing the BS. There's a lot of BS that's in the entertainment industry. I've been knew about it. I just didn't say nothing, because in all honesty, it's kind of like that is the rule, and I tacitly was rolling with it. You just don't say nothing. But she that's why she got that award. I don't give a care if what y'all say about the organization or who awarded it to her, but at least she had the balls to say something, and they gave it up. They gave that to her. So how about this? If you don't like Jaguar, okay, cool. Shut up. Don't say nothing about her. Don't engage. If you need to block her, block her. But with everything, you can learn what to do and what not to do from everything and everybody. Look at Jaguar as an example. There's a whole bunch of stuff. You ain't saying nothing about that uncle that did something to you, and y'all still got him at the family reunion and serving him up. And come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. We're gonna go on a
No, you're
tangent.
right. I mean, there. I guess in all reality, there is a lot of fathered in secrecy. You know, the uncle in the family. You know, there's a lot of family feuds, if you would say. You know, for a long time, you know, my mom and her siblings didn't like each other based off of who got favored by this grandpa or grandpa George or dad George, or you know, this dad favored this one or that one. And you know, I think through you know, being raised in these environments, you know, showing one favor to one child and not the others, and so on and so forth. And um, just the way we raised our youth and the way we raised each other. And then when we got out in the world, it it created a fight in us, did it not? I mean, we grew up in the projects, we grew up in the hood. Every day you knew you had to be tough. You know, your dad told you not to cry. Your mom told you toughen up. You know, so now that we're grown, we're still under those same rules, whether you want to believe it or not. We still
Indeed.
trying to, you know, live with this egotistical, and we're not letting each other's truth be each other's truth. Yes, you're right. Jaguar comes with a lot of levels of trying to expose the madness that's going on in the industry, and you know, sometimes her stories get miscombobulated with other things that's going on, her emotions. She's a great, you know, she knows how to sell it to the public. um and right now they need that, the you know, they need a voice of which to hear it from, right? And it has to be a woman's voice, right? Because this energy that is moving around the world, it is a feminine energy, right? If a man tries to speak up at this current time, you done. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, you done. You know what I mean? But a woman can be looked at right now and be forgiven instantly,
Mm-hmm.
and move into a light of something great, right? Um and that's probably what people are hoping for. Maybe that's probably what people are leaning toward. You know, people want to see her in a greater light. You know what I mean? With everything that's going on right now, we need images, you know, of a greater notion for the people, for the collective. But we can't do it with, you know, speaking outside of it with the whole "you're dumb" and all of the people is dumb and we stoop. Like, damn, like, don't you know that speaking to our life order? Can you imagine a child being raised in a household where he's always being called clumsy? That child is going to be raised and start performing as such.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Bible says that you're supposed to treat us like children. So if everything is a learning thing, then talk to me nice. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
Because
You're
we
right.
all out here growing within this shit. Like, we're all out here. We know the nastiness. We know our people has been, we know we've been railroad. We know we had, dogs sicked on us. We know we had the fire hose put on. We know all of this took place in the history of this world. Right. And we're not making any better, because as long as they see us coming at each other, they're going to constantly say, well, shit, y'all fight each other every day. Y'all can't possibly ask for us to treat y'all better, right? So no matter how we look at it, it has to start somewhere, and it has to start with self.
Indeed. Everything starts with self, and then if you know that, we're all one, then you are I am you. So that's why I said, let me give you the olive branch and apologize, and we just figure out how we can move forward with it. And I'm coming from respect. Now, a lot of people in the chat, now they're mad at my verbiage or whatever, what I'm saying in the chat. I can say what I want to say or type what it is that I want to type in the chat. Don't let me jag out, because y'all see jag out. Y'all ain't seen me jag out. So I'm gonna be respectful and tell y'all to calm the down with all that. Don't mention my government name, and be respectful. That's all we could. That's how I think. And see, the thing is
out of respect for the fact that he's asking us not to do it, let's refrain from using his government name out of respect that he's asking. I mean, a lot of people still got some harvest feelings about,
that's fine.
but out of respect that you're asking that you don't want your government name put in there, can we please refrain from using his government name?
Can. This is America. You could do whatever it is that you want, but guess what? I got me a nice little lawsuit coming about all this harassment, and y'all think that I was behind all what's going, bro, man. Like I said, Ralph, the collective, I respect y'all, but y'all really got to understand, like, there's always two sides of the coin. I mean, people were sitting here dogpiling Jag, then they jumped on me, started dogpiling me. Hey, I ain't tripping. I can go for whatever it is that y'all want to do and say. Y'all say it.
We trying not to do it.
No, not you, not you personally, or not your chat. I'm just saying in general. I'm just talking in general.
Okay.
Because y'all people, I'll drop in from time to time, because in all honesty, I think y'all just got to get to know me better. I don't think a lot of these people know me really. There's 360 degrees of a man.
Yeah,
y'all probably know the 180.
We just know the beef time right now.
Y'all know set.
Yeah.
Y'all know set. Y'all don't know the other side, right? Y'all don't know Heru.
Right. So we getting there though. We getting there. We going, like you said, man. You came over here, respectfully. We going, extend it back respectfully, and go from there. Like I say, like, I'm all about finding that common ground, finding that peace. Right. Everything else we can, let bygones be bygones on, because it's a matter of opinion. Right.
Yeah.
At this point, we are looking to reach a greater level of youth understanding, and that starts with a conversation. So here's the conversation for it, right?
Yep.
And we can go from here. And I respectfully say that I will not say anything ill will towards you, and I will try to tell the people that represents the Atlas family not to say anything ill will towards you, due to the fact of the truth and the fact that you came over here with respect, and we're going to respectfully give that back.
Man, you still got your people. I see Blue Sage saying he's pulling a Black Owl apology. No thanks. Okay, whatever.
I mean, we gonna be.
You and I gotta chop it up about that. You and I gotta chop it up about the whole Magic thing, because I think a lot of people got things misconstrued on that too. But no, in all honesty,
you really want to go into that? Cause
Not
she,
right now.
you
No,
know,
not right
she
now.
gonna be okay.
No, not right now. We're gonna.
She
I
already
need to
on
chop
my
it up with
ass.
you behind the scenes. Oh, I
All
know,
right, bet,
but I need
bet,
to
bet.
chop it up
'Cause
with you behind the
I'm tired of that.
No,
Man.
I'll chop it up with you behind the scenes. I'm about to go holler at Atwood just on some. Look, we gonna chop it up behind the scenes. You just got to get a better understanding before we even say anything.
All right,
and then I'm even to the point to where I'm gonna holler like at the folks to get at Jag, and Jag will apologize to Two Tits about going at her dad. I never talked about his dad. I understand something was
I
going
think
on with his
let's put
dad.
a lot of stuff on the table for conversations. We'll speak on the back end
Yeah,
about it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. No, but I'm gonna talk to Jag and her people. Like, look, let's try to truce all this stuff up, because I don't think that was cool for her if she talked about AT2's dad. I mean, you know.
I mean, of course, you still got to sit down and see if AT2 willing to apologize, because Jag ain't about to be the only one apologizing. You know that.
Exactly. No,
And she
and
ain't gonna
that's
be the
why
first one
I'm
to
on
do
his
it.
fat ass neck. That's why I'm on
Nah,
his
but
fat
she's
ass
not
neck,
gonna do it
because
first. That's the thing. You know, Jag
no,
ain't gonna
we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
okay.
Look, ain't
I think
Rome one building one day. This ain't gonna happen overnight. All I'm
yeah.
saying is let's start figuring out. It's almost like, look, the true peace in the Middle East would be a two-party state. I mean, a two-state with Palestine and the Israelis, but that's not happening. We know that. But what we got going on here, there's just okay. We agree to disagree, but
There's room for some
there's
stuff.
not going to be any disrespect.
Right.
There's no room for that.
Right. It's room for some stuff though. I get it.
Yeah. Like I said, like yeah. I'll never like Donna T. You'll never. That's a whole nother conversation, because number one, that's why I say we'll talk about the Magi stuff, because bro, it's heavy. It's heavy. But you just got to have a better understanding of all of it. And then, like I said, I'm tapping in Atwood about it too. It's nasty work. And a lot of people that's on the outs, y'all on the other side, or y'all the audience. There's other stuff behind the scenes that y'all don't really peep and know. And I don't think it's really for them just yet, but it'll come out.
I think, like you said, with everything that's happening, and you're right, this is taking place on a way bigger scale. There's, people, this was happening to people on TikTok, gang, cyber stalking, different variations of it. That was a part of certain communities, conscious, communities that was speaking on certain things. And like you said, if we actually get into it, we can go into the story that old boy was telling when he said that they was trying to get him for, napping and so on and so forth. And he seen a fog when he was driving down to, here and there. There's a lot of different things that's going on as far as social media goes that is not being spoke about, as far as, playing on different variations of mental and, some of the stuff that Jag speaks of, and I hate to, say this, but I have seen and experienced some of it over on TikTok in my last 5 years. People who, I actually traveled out to people's houses in, Florida, who said that they were trying to build, spiritual communities, only to get out there and it was like a whole different type of, but yeah. So I know exactly, what she's, speaking on as far as some of the levels of game that's being played. And I think this is why I say the internet is undefeated, because, everything that took place over here already happened on YouTube. On TikTok, a couple years back, with trying to help people, and then, running into people that is, manipulating, and they come in groups, they got groups. So sometimes you don't know, these people are operating multiple accounts behind the scenes, so on and so forth. And it's all to play a game, with your, they'll get your phone number so that way they can know when you go live. They know what other accounts is on that phone once they get your phone number, because it'll say suggested, once you link your Facebook to your number, everybody that's in there will show up on your Facebook or show up on your Instagram. So all you got to do is get people's number and put it in your phone, and the AI system will take care of the rest and connect you with all of their social media accounts. So when you say some of the stuff that you say, I can see exactly what you're saying, right? I guess it will be, how do we articulate to the how do we bring awareness and articulate that to the public without sounding crazy, right?
Yep. Yep.
But it's a
Yep.
lot of it going on, man. But I think, like you said, I think we need to start with, the growth and development, and let everything, develop from there. Those who will, and those who won't. One thing we have
Well,
to remember: not everybody gonna make it.
that part, bro. But look, we'll chop it up. A buddy of mine does want to chop it up with you about that beat you got. They fuck with your beat, so I'm gonna link you up. They want to put some paper in your pocket for that or whatever, man. The intro. So
All right.
we'll chop it up. But look, man, I'll tap in with you from time to time. And like I said, in all honesty, bro, let's figure it out. But yeah, certain information, everything ain't for everybody. That's just what it is. And like you said, everybody ain't gonna make it, because it's a wave. It's a wavelength, bro. It's like how they say, it's what they call that shit. It's a vibe.
It's
What's a vibe? What's a fucking vibe? A vibe is a fucking, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
a wave. It's a wave.
if
So
you don't catch it,
gotta
it's
get in
like,
front of it, and you capitalize on it while it's there, and whatnot, and everything else will work itself out.
Indeed. So yeah, man. No, I have some other stuff I was gonna say, but overall, bro, no, we're good. And like I said, I apologize for spazzing out on you a couple of weeks back. Like, don't come at me about X, Y, and Z because of blah blah. But I get where you're coming from, man, and we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. And again, anybody that wants me to apologize to them, whoever's in the chat, you're calling me Old Dusty. I got some Old Dusty jerseys that I'm gonna be selling. So I'm taking that Old Dusty and I'm finna make some money off of it. I don't care. But what I will say though is, you talking about somebody was in, I'm talking about some respect me and this. Cam up. If you cam up, hit the link, cam up, and let me see you. Then we can talk. But other than that, right? You just max headroom. don't like you come. You're gonna respect me, okay? All right, that's what you think. All right. But yeah, if you anybody that wanna, if I come up or whatever, bro, and if they wanna, Darcy, I'm gonna call you out. Just cam up and we can chop it up and we can go from there. That's all I gotta say. If you cam up, it's a different situation.
Darcy good, man. Darcy good. But yeah,
no,
man,
I'm not attacking nobody. I'm just saying, because she was saying making some demands. I'm like, just cam up. If you cam up, then we can go from there. That's it. You see what I'm saying about understanding? All I'm letting it be known. Somebody made a demand or something. You cam up. I'll then we can talk. But go ahead, bro. Do your thing. And we'll chop it up.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you for stopping through. And once again, I apologize to you as well. And we'll go from there. Let this be the beginning. You know what I mean? Let this be the start of something, and we'll go, from this moment on. And
Indeed. For
right,
sure.
So
Peace.
Look forward to future endeavors, man. You have a great one.
You too.
So listen, very different variations of things is going on right now. The universe is changing. The universe is giving people opportunities to be better, right? You have to want to take that opportunity to be better. The universe gives me a chance to be better. I'm going to take the better. I'm not going to keep on operating the same way, expecting a different result. I have to want to operate differently. I have to want that different change. I have to want better. We sitting around waiting for a better to come to us, waiting for a better to change. No, you got to want that. You got to be the change that you want, right? You got to reflect the change that you want, right? So anytime I get a chance to be a better person, I'm going to choose to be a better person. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to choose to be a better person. You supposed to come with better energy next time. Why I'm going to come, I'm going to keep on approaching you with the same messed up energy. I know the messed up energy ain't working. I know that whatever energy I know it, I see it ain't working. Right? Let me change the energy I'm coming with. Let me see if I can come with some different energy, and then hopefully a different outcome will come. If you try different ways to be at peace, if you try different ways to be at peace, right? And you happen to stumble across it, then you stumble across a great thing. If you find different ways to be at peace and you still can't find peace, then you can say, well, chuck it up. I tried everything I could, But if you sitting there and you just automatically deny, damn, they won't let you bring up the picture. Yo, they took the Horus. Wow. Key traits: harmony, order, courage, weakness, subordinates, inflexibility, compatibility, Bassa and Gabe. Those are two godlike traits. Colors are gold and red. Yo, but they won't let me view this image though. That's crazy. Was this page helpful? What happened? They put an error on that shit. That is crazy. What about this one? Can you view this one? Damn, they put an error on that shit too. Damn, they will not let you learn about the gods. Damn, that is crazy. This whole video might get hit off. They might hit this hole, they might strike this hole. You can't look up the gods. Wow, you can't look that stuff up. I thought you can just look into stuff. They won't even let me double zoom in on the picture of that shit. That's crazy. It's Egyptian astrology. What? That's crazy. They won't let me zoom in. Did you see that? They would not let me click on none of that stuff. I know. After every battle, like they think about it, they took out the churches, the churches of Alexandria, all those other churches. They took the book. Like there was a time where they went and wiped every book out of the house. You know what I mean? Darcy, please don't start painting no narratives like that. You can fully see that Odell was not controlling no show or anything like that. So let's just move out the way of that, right? If you aim for peace, let's aim to push past that, right? If you represent peace, then, let's aim to push past that. If we continue taking shots, then you put us right back where we was at, right? You put me, you know what I mean? You put me right back into the defend. I'm going to defend you because you're part of the collective. So why continue to keep on going if you just seen us, reach a level of peace? Why continue? If you're on this side, if you represent this side, like why continue? You just seen me piece it up. Come on. We can't keep on getting back on that merry-go-round. I won't do it. I won't do it for nobody. I'm not about to keep getting on that merry-go-round. It's weird. So yeah. And it's tiresome. Yes, it is. It's very tiresome. Let's do better. We have the technology. We could do better. We could build ourselves in a better light. We can be better beings. Like we can. It's going of course it's going to take some trial and error. Of course it's going to take, and everybody's not going to make it. I get it. But we could be better. Collectively, we could be better. We don't have to keep on doing this. This is, come on, man. All of this fighting has got to be worrisome. Like you got that. Come on. How we know so much about division, but don't know nothing about unity? How we know so much about separation, but don't know nothing about, togetherness? How we know so much about war, but don't know shit about peace? How? 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 How you know that we want to be divided if we never seen what united look like? I don't know if I want to be divided. Let me see what united look like first, and then I'll let you know if I want to be divided. You know what I'm saying? Let me see that first. Let me see unity first, and then I'll let you know if I want to be divided from that. Let me see peace first, and then I'll let you know if I want to go to war. If I ain't seen that shit yet, then hey, I'm trying to reach something greater. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to reach something greater than me, greater than you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm put my pride to the side every time because I'm trying to reach something greater than me and you. I'm trying to reach a level of love that's astronomical. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put my pride to the side every time. I ain't gonna sit there and harvest feelings. Nobody can make me harvest feelings for others. I can't. I won't do it no more. I'm tired of harvesting revenge. I'm tired of harvesting hate. I'm tired of harvesting regret. I'm tired of harvesting. Man, you want something, go after it. You want to change something, be the change. You want stop. We gotta stop looking for complaints in this world. We gotta stop looking for the ways in this world. We gotta stop looking for the obstacles. The obstacles are becoming us. You complain about that wall so damn much, you become the wall. You complain about division so much, you become division. If you complain about racism so much, you become racist. Think about it. I know. That's why I was letting her get it out. That's why I was trying to let her get it out. But that's why I was like, also, let's push past it. Darcy know love is love. But I'm just saying, after you get it out, let's push past it. I know you want to curse him out. I know you got some shit you want to say. That's what I told him. You heard me tell him, listen, people still got feelings about everything that took place. So allow it to be just the beginning of something. You heard me tell him that. So let's not see, we're not insensitive over here. I took into consideration all parties, right? I didn't lash out at, different variations. I didn't take his side. You know what I mean? I tried to stay in a mind of being in a what? Peace. Do all things to be at peace. That's it. I mean, we could speak on who's right, who's wrong, but that wouldn't be doing things to be at peace. We know who's right and who's wrong. We have a moral compass. We have a sense of that. Like, what's right and wrong. You take away from it what you choose to take away from it. Because I'm going to take away from it what I choose to take away from it, which is an olive branch. And I can deal with an olive branch because it's the start of something, right? Same thing with Maggie. What did we do? Olive branch, right? We always want to give that chance. We always want to know that I want to know that it's a chance. Don't you want to know it's a chance? I don't want to stay in a forever feud with somebody. I'm not doing that. This ain't West Virginia. This ain't the Hatfields and McCoys, whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm not about to go into a long history of family feuding with somebody. I'm good. We all love each other. We are all in it together. White, black, indifference. We here. You can tell yourself something otherwise, but we here. We all in it together. We are a mixing pot of it. We are, well, listen, sometimes we ain't gonna like it. Sometimes, you know how many times you're gonna wake up, you're gonna not like me, you're gonna wake up on the wrong side of the bed, angry at everybody in the house. You're gonna be looking at the whole house, like the whole house get on your nerves. You know what I mean? You know how many times I was younger and woke up and the whole house got on my nerves? Huh? They might not have said nothing out loud, but I promise you, inside, I was like, this whole house get on my nerves. Huh? How many of y'all woke up and felt like the whole house, this table get on my nerve, this chair get on my nerve, this porch get on my nerve, this grass get on my nerves. It just won't stop growing. You know what I mean? Water hose get on my nerve. Come on. We all wake up like that. You know, we got to know when to, I know when it's time to get out the way. I go through some mixed emotions every holidays. Every holiday, I feel like I got to go be alone. Every holiday, I'll put myself, by myself. You know what I mean? I feel like I need to be alone, every holiday. Just because, like, when, in group homes and stuff like that, it was always these false plans. People always seem to, make a plan and then never, hey, I'm going to pick you up for Christmas. We're going to go do this. And I'll be like, all right, bet. In which case, I won't take any other plans because I already got plans with them, right? And then they'll cancel the plans. And then I'm sitting there looking dumb as hell, right back in that trauma, that kid looking out the window for the group homes, waiting for somebody to come pick me up. Nah. So I just go straight to being like, let me just go. I enjoy it. I enjoy my time with myself. I mean, not like that, but I enjoy me time. I mean, time alone. You know what I mean? Not like with myself. But with myself, you know what I'm saying? with myself. Fuck that shit. I'm the type, when I was locked up, I used to write myself letters just to get some mail. I ain't gonna hold you. Shit, I literally, you know what I'm saying? I run a bubble bath and then come in and act surprised. Like I ain't know the bath was there. You feel me? I run a bubble bath, put candles around that shit and re-enter the room and act surprised. For me? Oh my goodness, you shouldn't have. I play a whole scene out.
This whole time. We've been journeying outside of ourselves. Why?
No, you shouldn't have.
It's been a long time. Wisdom and understanding.
No way.
Maybe this is the year right here. Energy. Go within. There's something inside.
We gotta do better, you know.
Right. Go within. There's something inside.
We gotta do better, you know.
Energy. First stage is realize that you are. That's the first step. Confront yourself. Realizing that you are. Energy. It's been a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They can't put negative notions on us. Think about it. Great things is happening, whether they want to believe it or not. Maybe this is the year right here. This is the year for it right here. Right? Energy. Go within. There's something inside.
We gotta do better collectively, you know.
Go within. There's something inside.
We gotta do better collectively, you know.
One's image of oneself should be greater than reality. Don't let nobody tell you that you ain't great, because you are.
Rough the wise.
Energy.
Damn, that sounds so tough.
We've been
right
journeying in the wrong direction this whole time.
That
We've been journeying outside of ourselves.
Hey, run that shit back.
Why?
Rough the wise. Talk to him.
It's been a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Maybe this is the year right here. Energy. Go within. There's something inside.
We gotta do better collectively, you know.
Right? Energy. Go within. There's something inside.
We gotta do better collectively, you know.
Energy. First stage is realizing that you are. That's the first step. Confront yourself. realizing that you are energy. It's been a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They can't put negative notions on us. Think about it. Great things is happening, whether they want to believe it or not. Maybe this is the year right here. This is the year for it right here. Right? Energy. Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better collectively, you know? Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better collectively, you know? One's image of oneself should be greater than reality. Don't let nobody tell you that you ain't great, because you are.
Rough the wise.
Energy.
I just like that. It just sounds so good. It just sounds so good. Hey, listen, y'all know we going over to the Discord, kick it in the Discord for a little bit. I'm gonna play the game for a little bit. Hey, I say we had a pretty productive day, right? We went live a couple of times, right? Hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. We got the crystals in the Discord if you want to buy some crystals. We also have, you know, the clothing store. Make sure you go to the Atlas Family Clothing Store. We are looking for new vendors as far as the clothing store goes. Maybe we can get some cheaper vendor. Maybe we can, you know, get a different company to come in and if people make shirts, maybe we can get a self, you know, mom and pop, you know, shirt making company or something like that that'll take in these orders and make it cheaper, you know, with still good quality material, so on and so forth. Right now, we use what we got, and we got plentiful. Okay, that's what we have. We have plentiful, and I'll get the one of these days we'll get the sound bowl out, and I'll do some different sounds, play some different sounds on it. We'll do that in the Discord, you know, something to be at peace with, play some different sounds. We have to find more ways to be at peace, you know what I mean? Everything made in US. That would work. That would be beautiful. Hey, listen, in the meantime, in between time, you know, let me be the first to tell you, if nobody told you that they love you today, let me be the first but not the last to tell you that I love you, right? One's image of oneself should be greater than reality, right? And listen, above all else, love yourself. If you love yourself first, loving other people becomes easy. I mean, you might have a little bit of hard time, but forgiveness comes easy when you love yourself, right? Compassion comes easy when you love yourself, right? All of these things come easy when you start to love yourself. Yeah, you might not have had it good, been through some messed up things, been through some hard times. The struggles was real, the fight was real. Man, I promise you, it's always real. We always seem to go through it. Car don't want to cooperate. Bills always seem to pile up. Everything always seem to happen at the same time. It's always real. It's always real. That's why the best thing we can do is just find different times to be at peace with one another and cherish those moments. If we can make those moments of peace last for an extensive moments of time, then we're changing history. But as long as we sit here and keep on trying to find different ways to dislike, argue, bicker, or fight with each other, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. If we can get a moment of peace and just stay within that, I'm good with that. You know, that's why I say let's just stay with this peace and development right there. That's our common ground. Let's stay with that. Right. And I'm good with that. Everything else will be uncivilized. So let's continue to move forward. Let's continue to grow. Like I said, a lot of things are changing around us. Let's be a part of that change for the better, right? If we're going to do something, let's do it to the best of our ability. You know, my mom always told me that if you're going to do something, you better be the best at it or try to be the best at it. If we're leading by example or growing in a collective of an exemplatory measure, let's be the best exemplatory measure. But sometimes you got to pop out and show them. So they got to know that we can go to war too. They got to know that we'll hey, listen, we'll tear some shit down in these months. Talking about who the fuck want what? Catch beat in South Beach out of the reach of the police, got in my pocket. You know what I mean? Hey, we'll fuck some shit up out here now. Now listen. All right. Listen, all right. Love is love, man. Love is love. Listen, it was a great day. You know what I mean? Hey, apologies was on the table. That's big right there. Apologies was on the table. You know, that's 2 strikes possibly off of that page. I don't know how that page, I don't know how I'm going to get the page back if he take the strikes off of it. But, you know, if he do take the strikes off of it, hey, man, we might have that page back. You know what I mean? If not, hey, at least we in a, you know, a neutral zone with that. You know what I mean? Even if he don't take the strikes off of the page, you know what I mean? Even if he don't take the strikes off the page, even if he got messed up intentions, we don't have messed up intentions in all of this. So as long as we still continue to operate with good and pure intent, we always on the right side of it. All right. And that's what we're going to continue to do, is operate with good and pure intentions, right? If we can find peaceful solutions, that's the avenue that we're going to ease on down, okay? We're going to ease on down the road that leads to peace, okay? We're not trying to teach people how to hate over here. Y'all already know how to do that. We trying to teach people how to be what? At peace, okay? That's it. All right, so love is love. Namaste, ashe, salutations, and above all else, remember, love yourself. All right.